Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today's video, it is another episode of Talk of the Hatters. We will be talking about the 2-1 defeat away to Middlesbrough, our new signing Alex Palmer, and looking ahead to the Coventry game. So let's firstly obviously start off with the previous game, which was obviously the 2-1 away defeat to Middlesbrough. A very disappointing result, I have to say. You know, Nathan, it was pretty evident that, the evidence was there to obviously to all the Luton fans that, we were going to play a strong team against Middlesbrough because we played a weak team against Chelsea midweek in the FA Cup. Now, we obviously thought, the message which we got was that, the league is pretty much more important and we want to go for it in the league, which is understandable. I understand why Nathan Jones did the way he did. And even though, I know we've lost both games, but it nearly paid off. His plan nearly paid off. But the problem was how we, set up against, Middlesbrough on the Saturday. The first half was really disappointing, considering we made lots of changes, we didn't come out. We weren't ourselves, and even Nathan Jones was very disappointed with the first half performance. And it's a real shame because the players have let him down there, because the plan, in theory, I think it was a good plan, but I feel like the players have let him down slightly. There's no excuse not to come out a lot fresher than, obviously, Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough played a strong team against Tottenham midweek in the FA Cup, so they would have been a little bit lagged, so why didn't we not take full advantage of that and go at them in the first half? Really disappointing that, and I'm really gutted that, because we obviously had a really poor first half performance, we were kind of playing catch up in the second half, and it's not really fair, really, on the fans who went to Middlesbrough that day. Players needed to do a lot better. But during the game, and we actually talk about the goals. The first one, the penalty, a lot of fans are saying it wasn't a penalty. For me, it was a penalty, but clearly tripped Balogun, the Arsenal striker, on loan, obviously, from Arsenal to Middlesbrough. It was a clear trip. If it was the other way around, we would definitely be asking for it. So it was a silly thing to do in the box, but they scored the penalty. Nothing really Palmer could do. It was a good penalty, to be fair. And then the second goal, obviously we're pushing forward in the second half, trying to play catch up. We've had a few chances. Unfortunately, Palmer, he didn't make a good impression in the second half. He obviously got beat at his near post, which he should have done better. He's obviously come out, and said that, yeah, he needs to do better there. To be fair, he's not had much match practice. He's been third choice at West Brom. So I understand it's probably going to take him a few games, but we don't have a few games, unfortunately. We needed him to just come straight into the side and just do us a favour. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. Hopefully, we see a much better showing from him in the Coventry game. But yeah, he got beat at his near post. And a lot of fans, they're not very happy that we signed a goalkeeper from a playoff rival. People saying that he's performing poor on purpose. I don't buy that at all. No goalkeeper goes to another club and go, you know what, I'm going to deliberately play bad. It doesn't happen. That's not how football works. You're a third choice keeper. He wants to play football and he wants to impress. Does he want to be third choice keeper for the rest of his career? No, of course he doesn't. He was team of the season at Lincoln. He was goalkeeper of the season when he was playing for Lincoln, and he done really well at Plymouth as well. So he's done really well at League One level, and it's obviously he wants to obviously make that step up to the Championship. And unfortunately, he just didn't have the best of games against Middlesbrough. It happens, first time getting straight into into a new team. He's probably had less than 48 hours with the current group. It's not easy, but I do think there's a good goalkeeper there. On paper, there's definitely a good goalkeeper there. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to, help us on the day. Hopefully, he can obviously improve and, help us against Coventry and also in our next game. Fingers crossed he can obviously do that. But overall, I think, the second goal which we conceded, it wasn't ideal. But then we managed to get a goal back, but by then it was just too late, unfortunately. Adebayo did really well to set up Cornick's, doing really well this season, and hopefully he can just continue. But my big worry is, heading into the Coventry game, is we've had a few injuries. Now, Adebayo, he doesn't seem himself recently. I don't know if it's a fitness issue because he's had a week off. He's actually been rested. So the fact that his fitness could be a slight problem does worry me slightly, because he has been rested, you know. Nathan Jones has done it on purpose. He's to rest him. Maybe he's carrying a little knock and he's just playing through it, maybe. Who knows? But he worries me a little bit because his form hasn't been great the last couple of games. Pelly being missing for a while is extremely odd. I know Nathan came out and said that we were resting him for a few games. You know, it still hasn't featured. Alan Campbell, he came off injured with a head injury against Middlesbrough. Naismith came off injured against Middlesbrough. And then so did Osho as well. So, you know, we've picked up a few knocks. Our midfield isn't as fit as it could be because players have returned back from injury. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have to force some players to play some minutes and hopefully don't overwork them too much. So the likes of Clark and Luke Berry may have to come into the side and get a full 90 out of them. I know they probably don't need it at the moment, but we're going to have to get 60, 80 minutes out of these players, because otherwise we're going to have to play a completely different system, which is quite frustrating. But, you know, this is the issue when you play Saturday, Tuesday, you know. Lots of games. I know the older generation of fans think, you know, players shouldn't be getting injured as much as they should. But, you know, football's changed since the 80s and since the 90s. Football's a lot quicker. Players, you know, are a lot fitter, are more athletes now than they ever have been. So injuries always come now, unfortunately. But at the moment, it's not looking good heading into the Coventry game with the injuries we've got. I'm hopeful that we can get a point. I do think we will. Obviously, if we look at the previous game when we last played against Coventry, we won 5-0 at home. I can't see that being the same result. I think Coventry will defend a lot better than they obviously did in the home fixture. I think Mark Robbins has done a fantastic job at Coventry in what he's done. And, you know, it's going to be a tough game. It's always tough games when we go to Coventry. You know, it is hard. You know, I feel like our record isn't the best there, but we have won there recently. So, fingers crossed we can pull through, and fingers crossed that we can get something, you know. And hopefully all the players become injury-free. But it is what it is, I guess. We're going to have to battle through it, you know. Like I said, games are coming at us like so quickly. You know, another game on the weekend. We just got to battle through it. But we need to make sure that the performances are there as well, because we can't repeat that first half performance against Middlesbrough. Otherwise, you know, we're not going to be in that playoff mix. You know, it's fantastic that we are in the mix at the moment, but obviously, you know, a couple of defeats and that's it. You're sliding down that championship table quite quickly, because everyone wants to go on a decent run heading into those playoff places. So yeah, we need to be on it. My score prediction, I'm going to go with a 0-0. I reckon it will be a boring 0-0 draw away to Coventry. I feel like I would take a point away to them. You know, I think any point away in the championship is a good result. So, fingers crossed we can get something. But guys, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you drop a like. Comment below your score predictions and your starting 11s that you would play against Coventry. Let me know your thoughts on Palmer as well, the goalkeeper which we signed from West Brom on an emergency loan. His emergency loan is, it can be extended depending on how long Shea is out for. Isted cannot play if we sign an emergency goalkeeper. So that's the reason why Palmer is playing. When you sign a player on an emergency loan, he has to play. So that is the rule. So fingers crossed, you know, Palmer can obviously pull a much better performance out of the bag. But anyway, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.